Finally, a game of cricket in England that did not have a speck of rain. And the second T20I between England and Pakistan showed us what rain could have robbed us of. A very good contest. This is how it all played out in Manchester. Babar AZAM'S solid start ends with Mohammad Hafeez teeing off. SHADAB Khan strikes big again as Captain Morgan blunts Pakistan's attack. On a pleasant afternoon in Manchester, England won the toss and elected to field first, putting Pakistan into bat, both teams remaining unchanged from the first T20 international. The pitch was also unchanged, but you could see that batting on this track in these conditions was easier because the way Babar Azam and Fakhar Zaman both batted, it seemed like it was coming onto the bat really nicely. The two of them notching 51 runs inside the power play. While Fakhar Zaman could not really accelerate and convert his start, he was out. Babar Azam kept going at it, notching up his half century and seemed very solid, but he couldn't continue beyond his 50. He was gone too. In the middle for Pakistan at this point were two batsmen whose inclusion in this T20 side raised a lot of concerns pre-series. Mohammad Hafeez and Shoaib Malik, both old war horses for Pakistan. But the two of them redeemed themselves, especially Mohammad Hafeez. While Shoaib Malik kept rotating the strike, Hafeez teed off. And how, in his own inimitable style, he was collecting runs aplenty and hitting all of England's bowlers to all parts of the ground. And post the 15th over, he decided to accelerate, hitting Tom Curran for 23 runs in the 16th over. By the time he was gone, he'd scored 69 runs at almost a strike rate of 200. Pakistan notching up 195 runs from their 20 overs. But if the start with the bat for Pakistan was good, it was better for England. Jonny Bairstow and Tom Banton came out all guns blazing, both of them playing in their unique styles. Banton reverse sweeping for sixes, while Jonny Bairstow was at his brutal best. England scoring 65 in their first 6 overs, taking the attack to the opposition. But things were going to change post the first 6. SHADAB Khan came into bowl in the 7th over and got Jonny Bairstow. The next ball, he got Tom Banton, and off the third ball, and he could have had Eoin Morgan and his hat-trick had it not been for the DRS call to stay with the umpire's on-field call, that of not out, because the impact was umpire's call. Eoin Morgan was saved, and he made the most of this lifeline, went after Pakistan's bowlers like anything. With able support from Dawid Malan at the other end, Pakistan had no clue when the two of them were batting. They stitched together a 100+ partnership, and by the time Eoin Morgan was gone, he'd scored 66, put his team in a winning position. The final riots were done by Dawid Malan and Sam Billings. England cruising home to victory, chasing 195 like a canter, and winning the game by 5 wickets and with 5 balls to spare. The second T20I showed us the kind of contest we could have had it not been for the rains. As all action now moves to the final T20I of the series, we can only hope for a little more of this mouth-watering action.